just tell you a little about myself. I have been with FedEx for 21 years. As a matter of fact, I just celebrated my 21st anniversary a few days ago, so very excited about that. I had a different job before I joined FedEx. I actually worked as a television news reporter for many years. I did the news. I was an anchor reporter, which meant I would go out and cover stories, and then I would also sit behind the desk and present the news in newscasts for many years. So that was an exciting job. I really enjoyed that, but it could be very stressful sometimes. So, but I really enjoyed making the transition from TV news to working at FedEx in communications. Let us now go into my official words. As I was starting to say earlier, on behalf of the more than 600,000 team members at FedEx, we want to welcome you and congratulations for making it this far in the Company of the Year competition. I am part of the Global Citizenship team, and that team is totally focused on doing philanthropic work. We sponsor a lot of nonprofit organizations. We handle volunteerism. We do in-kind shipping. We do disaster relief. So anything that involves charity or giving back to the community, that's what my team does. So we're very involved with that kind of thing. So now the FedEx Signature Award is called Global Possibilities. And why? That's because as one of the main sponsors of the company program, FedEx wanted to develop an award that reflects what FedEx brings to the table. We thought that about the value of the services that we bring to entrepreneurs and small businesses. And one of the most valuable things that FedEx can share with you as young entrepreneurs is the importance of having global possibilities front of mind. Thinking about how thinking about your business as if it were a global business, even before it got off the ground. FedEx support for this program is part of a broader commitment to support global entrepreneurship. We believe that young adults should have access to entrepreneurial education through programs like this, through the Company of the Year program, which you all have undergone alongside your formal academic studies. As we were talking earlier, I was going to tell you that FedEx was founded about 49 years ago. Actually, in 2023, the company will be celebrating its 50th anniversary. So we've got some big plans for that celebration. But it was founded 49 years ago by Fred Smith. And at that time, he was a young entrepreneur, but he had this idea. 14 Dassault Falcon jets. When he first got started, we used 14 small jets to deliver 186 packages overnight to 25 US cities. And of course, in the decades that followed, things grew substantially. FedEx Express built a physical network that now serves over 220 countries and territories around the world. Now, you might think, okay, let's talk about the global possibilities here. Having a little bit of, let me share FedEx's social purpose with you. FedEx has a social purpose that brings the idea of connections to life. We connect people and possibilities around the world, and we do more than just deliver packages from A to B. We connect the world. And the impact that we're able to deliver in communities all over the world is substantial. So even if you have inspired to create a local business, if you have a business that only serves with your own local geographic area, your business is probably a lot more global than you think. Using a smartphone as an example, most people have a smartphone, but the industrial design may have come from a company in California. The Gorilla Glass that's used on the front of the phone may have come from the United States. The electronic chips that are inside the phone may have come from Korea or Taiwan, and batteries may have come from China. So in one small device, you have components that have come from all various parts of the world. So That's just one example of the global nature of the products and services that we have. Now, if you invented every resource and material that went into and out of your business, if you invented the technology, the supplies, resources, sales, and marketing, that would be remarkable, because most people have to source these things from other locations and other suppliers. Now, let me ask you, for those of you, I'm not able to see your hands, but just maybe put a symbol in the screen, or click the raise hand symbol to let me know how many of you think that your business is already connected to global markets outside of your geographic area. Let me see if I see the raised hand signal. How many of you think your business is already connected to other markets outside of your area? Okay, I'm seeing a few hands here. That's very good. Let me go through. I see. Okay, very good. That's so most of you know that you are depending on resources from outside of your own geographic area for your business. So that's what I'm talking about. That's all we're talking about here. So let me go to the next slide. You can put your hands down now. So now there are 4 criteria that we use, the FedEx judges use, to judge for our Global Possibilities Award. The first criteria is that the business that you have is driven by innovation. We look to see if you're being very innovative, and then that means that your business has demonstrated an ability to translate new ideas or inventions into a product or service that has value that customers will pay for. And the second criteria is that your business is connected to new markets. You're probably already operating across borders, or you're reaching out to nearby towns or areas around the world, either through your sourcing or through your sales. And the next criteria we look at is fueling community development. That means either you're creating jobs for people in your community with your business, or you're helping to support the community, the economic development of your community. Meaning that if it were a big business in operation, it would be helping to sustain your community economically. And then the fourth criteria we look at, sustainability and social responsibility, whether your company has a commitment to being environmentally sustainable, or whether you have a commitment to do some sort of philanthropy or charitable work in your community. So let's look at some examples of this. And I want to show you this video that kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about.
My name is Llewellyn Clark, and I live on the island of Nevis, which is in the Caribbean, with my wife Violet and my 3 children. And they know their daddy makes a good pepper sauce. I just like cooking. Mine's a special way of making pepper sauce. Mine takes time. It ages like wine. People love my pepper sauce here on the island, but I want the whole world to try it. Morning. That's my dream. I want to get it like down in Australia, over to Africa, up in Alaska, where it's nice and cold up there. All around the world, I want to be there, with that bottle of pepper sauce on the table. Ketchup, mustard, Llewellyn's hot pepper sauce. I just know that people's faces are going to light up when they taste it.
你好。
你好，你好。
这是您的。
你进待会儿吧。
不用了，不客气，再见，拜拜。
拿了东西了，来来。
I love that video. That is so cool. That is just okay. Let me go back now. That just gives you an idea of the whole the process of making a product and getting it where it needs to go to customers all over the world. And that's very cool. So now it's time for the scavenger hunt. Now you all have the sheet that has the questions on it that you need to answer for the scavenger hunt. Is that correct? Raise your hand or click the raise your hand thing to let me know that that's correct. Okay.
Right now, there are millions of people going about their daily lives. Some are facing hard times, and others just need a little help. It might be needing a warm meal, access to clean water, or help starting a new business. It could be reliable, climate-friendly transportation, a place to get a potentially life-saving vaccine, or even relief on the worst days of their lives. It's our goal to positively impact 50 million people by our 50th anniversary in 2023. FedEx Cares 50 by 50. Follow the journey on FedExCares.com.
Well, very good. So this was mainly an exercise just to let you know that when you have goods that you need to have shipped across borders or internationally, you really have a lot of things to consider in terms of what you need to do to make sure those shipments get where they're going. You have to consider where you're sending, when, how long you want how long of a duration you can, whether you want something shipped overnight or over a couple of days time, or the weight, the dimensions of your goods. So this was mainly just to give you a sense of all the different factors you need to consider when you're doing international shipping. So let me see. We're going to go down. I'm just going to pick some random questions and ask teams if they want to share their answers to the questions. So for number 2, for exporting, which of the following are benefits of expanding into the global marketplace? So let's see what team would like to respond to that question. I see a hand raised for South Africa. Go ahead.
Competitive advantage and profitability.
Very good. You get an A+. Okay, that's a good answer. Yes, so you have to think about your competitive advantage and profitability when you're as benefits when you're expanding into new markets. For the number 3 question, what is one tip to avoid custom delays? Which team would like to answer that question? Let's see, do I see a hand I saw a hand for Mauritius.
We should do a proper paperwork, communication, advanced planning.
Yes, very good. Yes, you have to make sure you have all of your paperwork, all your documentation. And part of that question was, what is the delivery time of the FedEx International Economy shipping service?
Area is over 200 countries and territories. Then the timeline is 4 to 6 business days.
Okay. Well, that's actually a little bit different than what I have on my sheet, but that's probably right. I may have updated it. Okay. Let's see, for shipping rates, was there a team that just did a scenario where they picked a city in Africa and they picked a city in the US.
Is it 3 steps?
Actually, there's 8 steps.
Okay.
That's okay, no problem. Let's move on to question number 6 about shipping labels. What details are required to complete the international shipping label? Who wants to respond to that one?
Yes, you need addresses, shipping details, package weight, item type, shipping service name.
Excellent. Yes, exactly. You need all of that. Okay, very good. Very good. Let's go down to number 7 for customs documents. Now, what questions does a good shipment description always have? Anybody want to tackle that one?
Should have a clear description of what the package involves so that people can be able to know how to handle it.
Okay, great. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am. What is it? What is its intended use to, and what is it made from?
Very good. Yes, excellent. Those are the correct responses there. Now let's. I'm going to just ask one more, just to the true or false question. You must have an HS code for each commodity you ship. Is that true or false? Who wants to answer?
J.S. Joaquin has the answer, man.
True.
Okay. It's
true. J.S. Joaquin.
True. Team Kenya. J Nigeria, true.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, great. Thank you. You all did a great job. I know some of it may have been confusing, but when you're shipping commodities and products internationally, you just really have to think about all of the details involved, all of the very, small particulars. It may be small, but it makes a big difference in terms of how much you're spending to ship your goods, how much time it'll take, and making sure that things get where they need to go in a timely manner. So that was just a brief little test to see, to just expose you to the world of international shipping. So I hope you were able to learn a little bit about that. And now it's time, if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free.
I actually have one.
Yes.
So I've done my research and I've learned that your company offers express delivery, logistics services, business services, and freight services. I want to know more about logistics services. What is it and what is its purpose?
Well, that's an excellent question. There are many ways of getting goods where they need to be and many ways of handling ongoing, consistent shipping goods. So if you are a company that does a lot of shipping and you have a lot of, let's say, products that need to go to various places, you work with FedEx and we will determine for you what's the best way to set up your shipments, whether, okay, do you need to have them flown by express by plane, or do you need to have an arrangement for freight delivery, trucking across states or whatever? So we have teams at FedEx that will help customers determine, yeah, it's probably better for you to arrange to have weekly pickups at these locations, and this will cost you this much, as opposed to every other day taking things to a ship center for them to be flown on an airport. So the logistics means the details of arranging how to get things from one place to another. So if you have lots of heavy equipment, you would deal with freight. If you have small packages, you would deal with another division. So it's just all a matter of arranging the best way to ship goods. So I hope that helps answer your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure.
Sorry, ma'am. Cheers. Question.
Team Eswatini, go right ahead.
Yes, ma'am. As you were talking, I was actually thinking, me and my team were actually thinking that if I were to ship a fragile product, like my product, what guarantee does FedEx have that my product will be safe?
we do provide insurance coverage. Of course, you pay a little extra if you want to ensure that your goods will get to where they're going. So we, of course, hope that all packages will get where they're going without any problems. But if you want the little bit of extra assurance, you can pay to have that insurance coverage so that if something does happen and the package gets lost or damaged or whatever, you will get, compensated for whatever the cost of that shipment is. So all packages have a certain level of guarantee, but you pay a little more and you have an insurance to cover to reimburse you if something does happen to that package.
Yeah, well answered. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to find out what kind of job positions are offered at FedEx.
What kind of job positions? Well, you might be surprised. We have all kinds of job positions. In addition to the people that actually deal with the packages, the package handlers, we have drivers, we have pilots. Behind the scenes, taking care of all the other business that is involved, we have lawyers, we have security people, we have computer people, we have marketing, advertising. I'm in the communications department. We have engineers who are working through all of the different aspects of getting things to where they need to go, and we have people in sustainability working on alternative fuels. We have people working on vehicles. So I mean, just about any job you can think of that has anything to do with transportation or business transactions or marketing, we have it. We even have our own packaging lab where we have people who are trained scientists to just, look at different ways of packaging goods so that there will be as little damage as possible, or, take the risk out of, if you're a company that's shipping computer parts, you have delicate equipment, you don't want anything happening to that. We will help you design a package to make sure that the goods stay safe during shipment, that kind of thing. So we have jobs, all kinds of jobs everywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
So I wanted to know what are the challenges that you faced during the COVID-19, and if there's any tips that you can give to us to help us safely deliver our packages, and how can we proceed with that in a way that's safe? Like you mentioned insurance and all. So we would like some tips on that too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Very good question. Yes, the pandemic changed the way we do business quite a bit, because for instance, a lot of our couriers were used to having lots of interactions with our customers as they delivered packages or picked up packages. We had to change that process. We no longer required signatures, for example, for some deliveries to help minimize the risk to our employees. We put a lot of services that would involve face-to-face interactions. We changed it to either online or virtual types of interactions. As far as our business offices, I am actually working from home. I have been working from home for 2 years. So because in our communications work, it was not necessary for me to be in the office to do what I do. I'm on the computer most of the time all day. And then when we do have events or activities, we will go travel and be at those events with full safety protocols in place. But for the most part, the folks that work in offices have been working from home. The folks that work in operations have, try social distancing as much as possible, and frequent testing and frequent monitoring and that sort of thing. So it has greatly impacted the way we do business, but we're going above and beyond to make sure our people are safe and our customers are safe. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Does FedEx provide door-to-door services? Because our product is a personal product whereby it has to reach the end user. And another question is, we try to contact some officials about the marketing, because we wanted to start trading to the vulnerable groups in America and Middle East, Europe. And so, but we failed.
Yes, I can definitely connect you to the people that work that cover that part of the world in operations.
Thank you. Hi. Well, I find it very interesting what you do at FedEx. And I did a little research as well, and I discovered that you previously approached Amazon. So my question is, do you still have contact with a contract with Amazon delivery for their packages and stuff?
Well, I think I actually that's an area that I'm not as familiar with. I know that Amazon was a customer of FedEx for a while, but what we ended up doing is the contract we had with them for a customer, we ended that because, as you know, Amazon is growing and expanding, and so now they're a competitor. So we do business with them on another level, but I don't think we don't have as much of a customer relationship with them anymore. So I hope that answers. I don't know the specifics behind it. I just know that since they are a competitor, we have minimized what we do, the kind of work we do with them.
Yes, that's what I want to know. Thank you very much.
Hi, I saw that you don't require signatures from your customers when you finally deliver the package they requested for. So which means do you use to verify if this person is actually the one that requested for this product? If you have stopped signature or signing, what do you do? Just in case I could also apply to my own business too.
Well, I should say we paused signatures. We at the height of the pandemic, when things were going, it was, people weren't sure how it was transmitted. We discontinued that, but we're starting to reinstate signatures for packages now, since people have more knowledge about how to do it in a safe manner. So there are guarantees. Our couriers will notify customers, your package has been delivered. We have text messaging, we have phone messaging, emails to let people know when their packages have been delivered. So they are notified. If they're not signature deliveries, they do get some email or electronic notification that things have been delivered.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to you all. I would like to ask, how many does FedEx offer an option for people to meet the possibilities? As per your statement, we connect people to possibilities. So do you really have a platform where people, if they have business ideas or anything that has to do with business, that can enable people to access to?
Well, it depends on what kind of ideas you have. We get calls and letters, and we get communications from lots of different people that want to sell FedEx services or want to help FedEx do what we do. They may have ideas for a better way to deliver things or transport things. So we do get, we have like a hotline or just a regular business line where people can call and say, I have an idea for something, and then we will route you to the right person. But in terms of like business inventions or stuff like that, we generally don't go with, we don't have a lot of people working on new product ideas. It's more, it is anything that we would do with a new business venture would have to have something to do with transportation and delivery and shipping services. So we do it, we get calls from people all the time with ideas for things. So we tend to go with people that have an established track record. We don't necessarily want to say, oh, so-and-so has a great idea, but they've never been in business before. It's like, well, give us some time. We need to see how well you do with this idea before we might want to partner with you or something like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Since you had mentioned sustainable activities earlier, I wanted to know more about the social responsibilities observed by FedEx concerning CSO activities. Yeah.
Okay. Any particular area of social responsibility, or just in general?
In general, yeah.
Okay. Well, Okay, let me just describe my work group. My work group is called Global Citizenship. And in the work group, we have three main focus areas. One is sustainable logistics, which means anything having to do with environmental sustainability, alternative fuels, electric vehicles, waste management, that kind of thing. Then we have delivering for good, which is charitable shipments, disaster relief. I know many of you may not realize this, but most of the time, whenever there is a natural disaster in the world, FedEx is involved in some way, either shipping relief supplies or working with nonprofits that are helping to get relief to the people that need it in those areas, whether it's earthquakes or floods or wildfires or those types of things. We're involved with a lot of very helpful organizations that are getting relief to the people that need it. So there's sustainable logistics, there's delivering for good, and then there's my area, the area I cover, that's called global entrepreneurship. And that's where we work with a lot of nonprofits that are helping small businesses to grow and helping future entrepreneurs such as you and JA. That's who I work with a lot. Lots of nonprofits that are helping women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. We offer training and mentoring and resources and access to capital funding and that sort of thing. So those are the three main focus areas for our social responsibility. And then under all of that is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we look at all of the things that we do and make sure that we are giving opportunities to underrepresented populations and making sure we're trying to be as inclusive as possible. So we do a lot of charitable work for special groups under the name of diversity. We do things for veterans, for the disabled, for the LGBTQ community, for women, for we have different organizations that support Asia and Pacific Islanders, and American Indians. So it's a lot of different organizations that we support where we invest our charitable money to help make things better for folks in communities all over the world. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So I don't know if you've checked the chat function. You can see how our CEO is very happy with our participation and our activeness on the webinar today, just as we did last week. We always have to share what we've learned. So I'll give the opportunity to 3 or 4 people to share with all of us what you've learned from today's webinar, what information you have now and you are carrying on to share with other people. So if you have that, you can just raise your hand and I'll give you the opportunity to share what you have learned today. Anyone to go first? Okay, I see J.A. Mauritius. Reedy, let's hear from you.
Yes, so FedEx has taught me to actually think global, to actually understand that our company has great potential despite being a mini company, and we actually have a lot of resources that we can use. So I would like to thank FedEx for that, for bringing us and just making our vision become greater. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's go to Jay, South Africa.
Thank you. We've learned a lot about FedEx as a company itself. We learned about how they operate, the various positions held within the company. You can see the various initiatives they take to help minorities, which is great in my opinion. How charitable they are, and lessons that we can learn as a business to be similar, to help minorities, to help charities, and to really just give back to the community. That's the most important thing I took.
Thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. J. Eswatini.
Thank you, ma'am. We've learned that FedEx, or rather the Federal Express, goes rather on connecting the world and on global connectivity. And we've learned that they deliver to 220 countries across 6 continents each day. And that's very surprising and wonderful. Thank you.
We also wish that FedEx would open up a branch in our country, Uganda. Well, that's what I'm seeing. FedEx has a lot of branches in Hungary, China, Mexico, Mexico, Poland, Brazil, France, Africa, North America, Europe. But Uganda actually have no branch.
I've learned a lot about always trying to live up to the standards of the world. Like COVID came and FedEx just readjusted everything, the activities, so everybody, both their team and the end customer will be safe. So they even had to change their means of verification and all those stuff. So I learned about that. It's very global and try to incorporate the things that are happening in our environment so that we keep on flowing and just progress like that. And I also learned that I should be very careful when I'm trying to send out a package to somebody, indicating the contents, the dates, and trying to keep in touch with the customer so they have a very good customer manufacturer relationship, and that's what making FedEx to continue to grow, thrive. So I've learned a lot from you. Thank you for the lessons and everything.
Thank you so much for that in-depth knowledge you shared with us. So we still have our CEO here with us, and we would want to hear from her before we all leave. So we'll give CV the opportunity to share the closing remarks for our webinar today.
Thank you very much, Pam, for this session, and thank you to the students. I think you've all done very well. This is the first webinar I've attended this year, and I'm impressed with your questions and your lessons that you've learned. We're again very grateful to the partnership with FedEx, and I'm looking forward to finding out the winner of this award on I think it's on Saturday the 26th that we find out. So I wish you all good luck, and even if you don't win, you're all winners because you go to this stage. So well done, everyone.
Just thank you so much for everyone's attention and participation. And I did want to mention that there are some countries where we don't have a FedEx location, so to speak, but we work with a lot of companies. We have global service providers. They're like contractors that we work with at our FedEx. They provide the services of FedEx through their own company. So I will take Uganda's comment about we need to establish a FedEx location in Uganda. I'll run that up to the senior leadership and let them know that we need to look at our presence in Africa and all of Africa and see what we can do to increase our presence there. But again, thank you so much for all the wonderful questions, all the great participation, the enthusiasm. You all are wonderful. It's been a great event. I apologize for the technical issues, but hopefully you were able to get something out of this that will help you in the future. So thank you very much.